Yo, welcome in, everybody, to the delirious happy hour of Can We Kick It podcast. I'm your host, Mike, along with Chuck here.
Say what?
How's it going, Chuck?
Good, man. Good, mange. How you doing?
I'm hanging in there, man. I'm so tired. I'm so delirious.
Yeah.
I'm probably going to be laughing my ass off through this episode because there's so much murder going on. It's the Red Wedding 2.0, basically. And I was laughing the whole time.
There's been a murder.
The closer. I'm Brenda Lee Johnson. There's been a murder backstage.
No, I was thinking of the Office episode. There's been a murder. I'm Nellie Buxer from Savannah.
Voodoo Mama Juju. I love Oscar's accent. This here plantation. It's like the only time he managed to make Steve Carell break.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a great one.
How's it been going?
Good, man. Good weekend.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Just getting ready for the wedding. T-minus like 3 days.
Do a bunch of wedding stuff.
Yeah, since we started recording this, went to my parents' house, did them a solid thank you gift. Their mailbox was horrible, dirty. It's like brick. It hasn't been cleaned in like 15 years. Pressure washed the shit out of it. Repainted the numbers on it. Looks amazing. So
nice.
Had some physical labor going on this weekend.
Oh, that's good. The big question is, what are you getting me for a groomsman gift? Are you going to come over and mow my yard?
Yeah, I got you a half-eaten bag of Sour Patch watermelon.
Hell yeah. I'm not a big fan of the watermelon Sour Patch, but it'll do in a pinch.
That's fair. It will do in a pinch, and that's all I got, because I would normally not go for the watermelon. If I was in the store and there were watermelon and the little kids, I'd go for the Sour Patch Kids. Yeah. What?
Yeah, I feel you.
No, yeah, you'll like your groomsman's gift. Yeah, it's it's a poker book, blackjack book from Aaron.
it's like the opposite of what you should do. Yeah, while you play blackjack.
That was the greatest screenshot you sent me about not splitting tits.
I'm bringing the book to work tomorrow. It literally tells you like 2 2s, 2 3s, 2 4. It gives you what to do. It's like never split on tens. It's like, yeah, no shit. Any intelligent, educated human being would know that. But I mean, I'm sure Aaron's pretty smart, but I can't wait to give him the book so he can learn. Life's all about learning, right? So
true. It's the one lesson I learned out of school, is that you never stop having to learn.
That's right. Every day without learning is a day wasted.
Yep.
Chuck German. Kunu.
Trademark. TM.
It's trademark.
Kunu.
Hey, you're gonna love I can't tell you what it is yet, but there's something. I did something with Kunu. Put Kunu on something. So
Excellent.
I'm literally on the way driving home. I was like, I wonder if I could go by Kunu. Like it means Chuck in Hawaii. Like it really does. So now we're getting into the surf culture and everything. You know, I'm just thinking about going by Kunu.
Yeah, because you bought a board. Now you got the bite in you. Yeah.
So we went down to the beach on Sunday, and so we've been surfing California and New Jersey with good waves and good volume and power behind the waves. So down in Galveston this weekend, I bought my new board. It's a used board, but it's a small short board, and there was some decent waves for Galveston, but anytime you'd start to get up, the wave would die. Like there's no power. And I was talking to another person that was out there surfing, and like they didn't bring a board, or they came down, some friends came down medicine. He's like, yeah, I only surf like in the winter or when there's like a hurricane.
Oh yeah.
Like, yeah, I guess that makes sense.
You get big waves then. Yeah.
But then I was washing my board off at home, and a wind gust blew it, and it hit and like now I got a crack in it, so I got to
Oh
figure out how
my
to get freaking fiberglass repair or pay someone to repair it.
It's probably cheaper to just buy a new board.
Well, for Galveston, yeah, because you need like an 8, 9 foot like long board
Yeah,
because you don't get any power. So I don't know. We'll see. I mean, just got to make sure like when we go back up either east or west coast to surf when we're there. Um, but I would just like to have my own board to be able to go and do whenever, whatever. But
for sure.
Galveston just doesn't get the waves. But there's a surf. There's a it's like a surf place in Waco.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Um, it's like a wave pool, and so some friends went there, so it's really awesome. And I keep seeing a lot of pictures there, so I want to go there at some point. Maybe try to find a weekend to go after I get my board fixed.
Yeah, yeah. Splits in half while you're riding it.
Yeah. Like, oh, we'll sell you a board. But I think you can rent. I mean, you can rent boards at most
Yeah,
places. I mean, in Galveston, you can rent them pretty cheap. I think next time we go down and the waves are good, we'll just rent like boards and stuff.
nice.
But yeah, so and I forgot how to work today. So
Yeah.
I woke up this morning. I'm like, oh shit, because I took off last Friday. I started volunteering with Galveston Bay Foundation.
Oh yeah, that's
Um,
right. I never did
so
get a
they,
call for reference.
oh good, oof, I
Yeah,
passed the background check. So,
you lucked out. Yeah,
but yeah, so I started that training, and I think I'm gonna volunteer. The first volunteer I'm gonna do is in October,
nice.
but learned a lot about the Bay system, and they teach school kids on different things with birds and insects and fish and the habitat and biodiversity and the ecology of the bay and our
Invasive
surrounding area.
species.
That is one of the buzzwords on there, yeah. So
Give Captain Desi a run for his swamp money.
yeah, they didn't mention anything good or bad about invasive species here, but you
That's
know,
good. Pretty neutral
yeah,
then. Okay.
and they don't pick a side in this foundation.
Yeah,
So, but yeah, it
that's
was
cool.
good, man. We're just getting ready for your wedding, so
Yep. It's gonna be a lot of fun.
well, I think this will we'll release this before the wedding.
Yeah, that's what it'll be. Yeah.
So we'll get it out of the way, and then just a little housekeeping. You're gonna be gone 2, 3 weeks. So
Yeah. Don't come back till like October 10th. Yeah.
okay.
So
So on Friday, September 30th, we already have a pre-recorded one with a special guest. Um that will drop on 9:30, and I'll probably have another special guest why Mike is on his honeymoon. So
yep.
we'll still release with guest hosts, or I may, not be able to sleep one night and just record a solo bolo.
Yeah. Yeah. Say you either have to record solo or you're gonna have to find somebody that watches House of the Dragon.
Yeah, well, I may have to do a hot D by myself,
Yeah.
but I'll probably like get on one night and start talking about Atlanta for like an hour.
Yeah. Do it, man. Do it.
I watched the first episode. It was really good, and they're
Nice.
back in Atlanta. So um oh, so we started rewatching White Lotus as well. I
Oh,
think we're on
yes.
episode 3 or 4. So freaking good, man.
It's
Like I know
so
that
good.
I mean I remember it being really good the first time, but like just watching it again, I could see why it won the most awards at the Emmys
Yeah.
or
It,
whatever. Was it the Emmys? Yeah, the
yeah, it was
Emmys.
the Emmys. Yeah. Yeah, it was those like sideshows for HBO. You watch them like the second or third time and they just get better and better. Avenue 5 was
Yeah.
way funnier the second and third time I watched it. So I got to go back and watch White Lotus. I loved it the first time, but I got to imagine there's just stuff I don't remember that was just so good about it.
Yeah, I mean, and you think of all like even just you had Steve Zahn. I mean, a lot of like let's say B list actors, right?
Yeah.
But they turn in like Jennifer Coolidge and Steve Zahn, um, and Sydney Sweeney, who's like, I don't know if she's A or B list now
She's
from
blowing up
Euphoria.
right now with Euphoria. Yeah.
Alexander Daddario, who one of my personal favorite, a lot of range. Um, and
White Lotus to Baywatch, back to White Lotus. A lot of range.
True Detective season 1, bro. You haven't
True
seen
that.
it.
True
You've
that.
been there. Let's see. And I'm blanking on I forget the wife's name in the show, but
Yeah.
Jake, and then Jake Lacey from who's Plop in The Office
Yeah.
season
Oh my
9,
gosh.
who's now starring in a new series on Peacock that
Yep.
is based on a true story about like a neighbor who kidnaps the same girl like twice. Like, have you seen the commercial for that?
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
I'm like, this looks amazing. Like,
Dude, I'm gonna watch it. Yeah, we gotta watch
yeah.
it and talk about it. Yeah.
Yeah, so but that's pretty much. I finished my rewatch of Mr. Robot, still like one of the best shows ever, and then started up Atlanta. Actually, so last week we didn't talk about it, but American Horror Stories
Mm,
had their season finale,
nice.
and Alicia Silverstone played the mom in it, and
What?
because she's like my age now, somewhere
Yeah.
around there, I didn't even recognize her until like
What?
I was reading about the episode because it was really good. I'm like, wait. I went back and watched it again because it said Elisa Silverstone. Silverstone played the mom. I'm like, oh my god, you couldn't even recognize her. So,
Yeah, she's come a long way from since Clueless, man.
yeah, for real. So, but yeah, what else are you watching before we start talking about Hot D?
The Patient on Hulu.
God, I gotta start that. I'll start that this week.
It's good. I'm waiting for the turn. I mean, it's a crazy show, and like, I mean, you've seen the trailer. It's like a psychiatrist who gets kidnapped by like a serial killer,
Yeah,
and he's like ask at like basically making him help him like try to stop killing people, but it's almost missing that like level of real threat. You're waiting to see the actual violence come out of somebody, but
yeah,
it's still good. I'm still hooked. I'm still watching it. Next episode comes out tomorrow. New episodes are on Tuesdays, so yeah, we'll I'll watch that and I'll give an update next time.
yeah. That's what kind of. I mean, especially like the serial killer type shows, you want. You're like, the exposition is good, but you also want some stakes and some potential action or repercussions, right? So
Yeah.
like that's what made Mindhunter so good in the first 2
Oh
seasons
yeah.
was like it was the mental aspect of it and talking to the serial killers,
Yeah.
but then they were also like trying to track some down as well.
Yeah.
So
Dude, yeah. I mean,
um
I mean, the difference between Mindhunter and this show is like the like the way they developed the characters and the depth that they had in Mindhunter was just mind blowing. The guy who played Ed Kemper just scared the shit out of you,
yeah,
and it's
yeah,
like
it's one of
it's
the scariest people on screen.
yeah, like the patient is almost lacking that a little bit, but I got a
Yeah,
feeling it'll come out. It's just they're just taking their time with it. Yeah,
yeah. Oh, is it like a winner, or is it multiple seasons, or is it like limited series? You think?
I think it's a limited series. Yeah, I can't imagine Steve Carell's going to do a second season of it.
Yeah, he's got to get back to Space Force
Yeah, Space Force Redux
season 3.
part Deuce. Yeah.
Well, you mentioned Avenue 5 before. It comes out October 10th. So when you get back from your honeymoon, season 2,
Yep.
we can chat on that a bit.
Did you watch the trailer
Oh,
for it?
yeah, yeah.
So
You
good.
said,
So
yeah.
good.
That's
I can't
crazy.
wait.
Yeah, and Andor comes out.
Yeah.
I think when you're on honeymoon. So
There was something I heard about that. It was like written by so and so and directed by I don't remember the names, but I remember hearing it. Like it was a radio commercial, and it was like, whoa, heavy hitters. Like I might have to watch that then.
yeah, and apparently, oh yeah, it's coming out this week, September 21st. So maybe me and Dylan, so my son will probably join us. Um, if he watches Andor, we'll maybe talk about the first 3 episodes are being released on
Yep.
September 21st, and it's 12 episode first season. So, but yeah, Diego Luna is Cassian Andor. And a lot of people have been watching Rogue One because I guess it's part of that story.
Yep.
Or that time period. So may have to go back and watch.
Oh, yeah. Stephen Schiff, who did, he did The Americans.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, he's a producer on the show, and then as well as Benjamin Caron, and he was a producer and director on The Crown, which is an amazing series.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's some heavy hitters on there. Yeah, it's gonna be really good. So I think I will watch Andor
now. Yeah.
But
yeah, so let's talk some Hot D.
Yeah, episode 5, right? And it took me a minute to find the title of the episode because when they dropped it on HBO, it just said episode 5. And I was like, well, that's fucking weird. But it's called
Is this the King of the Narrow Sea too?
Yeah, right. Part deuce. Yeah. No, it was called We Light the Way. And I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna shoot it off right at the bat. I don't know how the king is still alive. I'm just saying.
Body parts are gonna fall like yeah, I don't know how he made it through this episode.
Yeah.
It's not doing well.
No.
Basically, in this episode, we have, you may have to help me through this because I'm sure I'll get it jumbled. But they sail off to make the proposal to
I'll give you the rundown real quick. I got it right here.
Do the rundown, bro.
All right. So returning to Runestone, right? Daemon.
Oh yeah, the opening. Yeah, that was a great little set piece, a little singular piece at the beginning.
Yeah, Lady Rhea Royce, and she's out doing a little hunt. I think she's going for deer. She comes across Daemon, and he like spooks her horse, and I think she realizes like he's gonna try to kill her.
Yeah,
and her like horse like flips over and like I think like breaks her neck or back or something. She's just paralyzed. And you're just like, oh. And then you think he's just gonna leave her, and then he like picks up a rock and like bashes her head in.
She says, "I knew you couldn't finish."
Yeah, and like, yeah. Oh, double entendre, double hit. Yeah, Damon's like, I got this. Yeah. And then so Damon's he's on the market now. He done killed the old wife, but now King Viserys and Rhaenyra are sailing to Driftmark, and so this is to arrange the marriage between Rhaenyra and Sir Laenor, who is Corlys's son, right? That way he can build the alliance with Corlys and the House of Valyrian and Targaryen, so that way they can usher in a new generation of dragons.
When you find out too that the daughter that was promised, that they were trying to court to Valeris, she's been promised to a Braavosian. That's right. So they really need this alliance because Braavos, if you remember from Game of Thrones, they have money and ships, and they're like, I think the richest of the free cities.
Braavos, was that where Jack and Hagar was from?
That's where like the banks, that's where like they would go to, the Lannisters would go for like the bank, and I think Jack and Hagar was there as well.
Yeah, it's like that, and Aya's teacher. What do we tell Death? Not today. Yeah. I think he was also from Braavos.
Yeah. I forgot what's that guy's name.
Yeah, he was from Braavos. That's right. Yeah.
Okay.
Jack and Hagar was.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's where they go. They're in Braavos.
Yep.
There, but yeah. So go on with it, brother.
All right. Let's see. So they're like sailing there, right? And I think that's where we see like King Viserys is like seasick.
Yeah.
It's like this guy is like a huge metaphor for a shitty leader. He's like getting seasick, throwing up. But I think is that when Rhaenyra is approached by Sir Cole, or is that on their way back?
Oh, I can't remember, but yeah, either on the way back, but yeah, Christian Cole as a breakdown about
he's in
being
love.
in love and wants them to run off and be freely married and give
Let's
up
live the
all
hippie
everything.
life. Let's live on the land, let's
Let's
make carrots
farm
and not
and
be rich anymore and not be powerful.
she and get away, and she like from the crown, and she's like, I am the crown. It's like,
Right. And that's when he realized that she had become Darth Vader. Yeah. But yeah, so they go to just read my notes. Yeah, they go to Driftmark, and then they, they are not greeted by a big crowd, and everybody's like, "What the hell? This is how you treat your king?" And they're like, "Chill, chill. He just got back from a long voyage." So they go into the big hall.
They're making Viserys like do all this walking and like they know
he's got a
he's in
grovel
shitty
and
health.
beg. Please marry my daughter, please, for the love of God. Yeah, and they're of course hesitant, but Rainier was like walking with Laner, and they're talking about the dietary preferences for goose and duck, and it's a big metaphor for the fact that his sexual orientation is leaning the opposite direction. And she's like, it's cool, like we'll just do this for our duties, we'll make an heir, and then we'll just do whoever we want, basically. And they're like, cool. They like work it out. And meanwhile, like Viserys is up there like, okay, well, if they have a son and it's a firstborn, it's got to be a Targaryen. They can't be a Valerian. Like, it's got to be a Targaryen dynasty going forward. And they like are hashing out. It's real funny.
Doing some negotiations.
And I love when like they go to like shake Viserys' hand. He's like, and then we see why later. It's like all like mangled up. Yeah.
And like then he still has fingers missing, right?
Oh, so yeah. He's just losing a digit every episode. Like,
well, and I love it. Laner and Rhaenyra, they're like, we're open marriage, cool. Like, we'll do our own thing. And then he goes off into like the marsh, and then like gives me it's like Renly Baratheon vibes, like it's like he's got a little man lover, and so I was kind of expecting that as the way because we didn't meet him much.
No.
Yeah, just like he rode the dragon. He was talking a little bit a couple episodes ago, I think, in the crab feeder episode. Yeah. And then like when you saw him more, you're like, okay. I see where this is going.
Yeah.
But it seems like, but it's almost like these situations, like seems like everybody in the realm already kind of knows, or they have the suspicion.
Yeah, his parents know, and they're like, "Oh, he'll grow out of it." And they're like, "Maybe not." Like everybody knows, but it's not openly spoken.
It's so weird. Like these times, at least, like at least in the show, you got the Targaryens, which like were incestual. I mean, in GOT, you had Cersei and Jaime Lannister. You have all this open sexuality. I mean, like the Viper, and GOT was like just fucking everything that moved in the pleasure house. I mean, like they don't. There's all this open stuff going on, but when it comes to the tradition and everything, it's like, all right, we got to pretend to do this, and we got to have a boy, and we got to do this, but
nothing's changed in 200 years.
It seems like Sodom and Gomorrah, like from like the Bible. It's just like, the Jews were like, don't go to the city.
Yeah.
But it's like whatever you want to do, but in public, I mean, and like the projection is you have to be this way. I guess that's kind of how people live today in some regards.
Pretty much.
May hide stuff, but I don't know. Then they come back, and I think that's where they do the Kristen Cole is, we talked about earlier.
Run away with me. Don't do this. You're better than this. And she's like,
two handsome people.
Yeah. Yeah, well,
But
who is it like? Oh yeah, you got 2 suitors after you, lucky duck. Like,
oh,
yeah,
that was last Allison was like,
Allison. Yeah,
oh yeah, my dad was pimping me out to like your dad.
yeah.
Um,
Now I'm
I
sleeping
can't
with a
wait to
guy who's
talk.
got missing digits.
Yeah, I can't wait to talk about him and the late or her later on because
Oh yeah.
she comes up the top rope.
Yep.
Um, do we hadn't talked Otto leaving town? Like
Yeah, he's like
basically
leaving
they
the Red
don't.
Keep. Yeah.
Yeah, they're like, hey, we're not even gonna give you a fucking covered wagon, and it's raining, and he's just they cut off like the security guards walked him out the building, cut
Yeah.
off all his access to his email and his phone, and
Hand in your badge. Like, it's not gonna work
yeah,
if you try to buzz back in. Yeah. Yeah, just here's
Alice,
your horse, get the hell out of here. Yeah.
yeah, Alice, he's like blaming Allison to this is your fault. Good luck on your own. You're not gonna have to cover me now, protection of me.
Yep.
Um,
Yeah, he tells her like the king is gonna die, and you either need to prepare Aegon to rule,
yeah,
or cling yourself to Rhaenyra as close as you can, because if you don't, she's gonna perceive you and the children as a threat.
yeah,
And basically just telling her like there's only 2 ways you can take this, and you have to pick one. Yeah.
yeah. Otto's smart. I mean, I think he goes back and forth between uh his duty to the realm or his duty to his family, and like he's like I think part of it maybe he feels a little guilt on his part that he put his daughter in this position,
Yeah.
and he feels betrayed by her because she took Rhaenyra's side, and now it puts her at risk. I mean, he gets to go back to Old Town or wherever they're from, and
Gets to hang out at
um
the Citadel, do whatever he
yeah,
wants. Yeah.
he's gonna read in his retirement,
Yeah.
and
Find new ways to kill find new ways to mess up C-sections.
oh,
Yeah. Rough hit.
but yeah, so
But
we'll
yeah,
see
so
how that
it's
turns
he
out.
leaves, right? And so like
Yeah,
Alicent is like waiting. She's like hanging outside, and then like the king returns, and he's like climbing out of his like amazing carriage, which they somehow designed like 200 years before Game of Thrones. And he like collapses, and she's like startled at first, and then she's like, "Yeah, he's gonna die." Like she knows it now, like she sees it.
yeah,
Um, but that's when like so they get back, right, and she calls in Sir Cole to her chambers, and she's like, "I heard a rumor
yeah,
that Rhaenyra may not be the sweet girl we all think she is." And
yeah,
yeah, okay.
yeah.
I
I
slept with
fucked
her.
her.
I'm
Yeah,
sorry about it. Like, I broke my vow, but look, just kill me. Okay, just kill
yeah.
me. And she's like,
Don't castrate me. Don't geld me or whatever. And she's like,
yeah.
oh,
She's like, you're dismissed. That wasn't the rumor I was thinking about, but you are dismissed. Yeah. He just
yeah,
spilled the beans, and now she knows about it. So it's like, okay, so she really thinks she's like a whore now. Like,
yeah.
first it was a rumor about Damon, and now like Sir Cole has admitted to sleeping with her. So Alicent has no allies left.
No.
Um, and so
Oh, maybe
now,
Sir Laris.
yeah.
He's talking to her in the Garden of Betrayal.
Oh, good to see you. Good to see you. Hey, I
Yeah,
heard Rhaenyra might be sick. I don't. The Maester
yeah,
cooked up some
yeah. I
Moro
bet.
after cocktail for her.
Tomorrow after.
We have to send that to George R. Martin. Look. You should have called it Moro after. Let's be honest.
Plan Plan
Planet
Bravos.
B.
Planet B. Planet B.
Awesome.
We gotta learn Valerian to
Oh
see
yeah.
what the letter B is.
Right. Oh my god.
Tomorrow,
Um.
tomorrow after.
So Allison doesn't say anything. She keeps it to herself, and obviously, like Sir Cole is like distraught. She chose like power over him. He's got his little heart broken, and then the party now commences, right? So,
Yeah, we're supposed to have 7 days. This is the opening party
yep,
where
another tournament, another joust
yeah,
tournament. Let's just
seven
throw our
days of
money
turn.
away.
You gotta have the opening party where all the houses walk in. It's like the garden party in The Office. Introducing Jason and Tywin Lannister of House Lannister.
And I love it because
Jim
they're
and
like,
Pee Helper.
I love it how they're like, "Where's Queen Alicent?" And the king is like, "Oh, she's still getting ready."
Yeah.
And she's just like pissed at him for sending her father away.
Well, yeah, and then we have the Hightowers come in, the Lannisters come in. Yeah, and who Jason Lannister
Yeah,
like comes up to like, and she's just like rolling his eyes at Rhaenyra's rolling her eyes, and yeah, they ask, "Where's the queen?" She's getting ready and whatever. And then he gets up and he starts giving his big speech, and then the door pops open, and we've got like different person, like mentally different. Alicent 2.0 is out in a green dress, which are the colors of House Hightower.
when they
And
are declaring war.
yes, that's the banners they fly. And I think it mentions it maybe in some other podcasts mentions it in the book, but like, or it's more like visible in the book. But here, I think the Strong brothers are like, oh, they brought out their like colors for war or
Oh
whatever. Like
shit!
it's like they say that when she's walking down, like, oh, I guess they're declaring war on the, they kind of tell us, but
Yeah,
yeah, she comes rolling down looking all badass, and then she rolls by the table, is like, congratulations, stepdaughter.
yeah.
Or what,
Like
it's like,
mid king speech, and everybody's like, "Oh, she's gonna hear about that later." Yeah,
yeah, what does she got to lose? Like, he'll
yeah,
try to hit her and his arm will fall off.
yeah.
Like,
Right. Yeah, it's pretty weak. Yeah.
he's like,
You
just
gonna take me out on a ship and teach me a lesson? You're gonna throw up? Is that what you're gonna do?
all right, like, yeah, let's go out on the ship. Let's
Yeah.
let's let's take a like a tenth of a mile walk.
Yeah. Right. Try to catch me. Yeah, he's like Logan Roy trying to talk to Adrian Brody walking through the on the island, just getting winded. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
Crazy.
the other thing that happens is like Damon walks in and like everybody's like,
Yeah. Oh
"Oh
yeah.
shit, like Damon's here."
Well,
Like,
and it, like, I guess the word around Westeros is dudes falling apart, right? So like, he fired his hand and he's losing digits, having all these medical issues, and marrying off the daughter. So Damon knows he's gonna have no chance of any power. And yeah, he just strolls on in and like pulls up a chair to the end of the
at
table.
the end of the table, he's like,
He's
"There's
like,
no room at the head of the table. Just make a space. Make
"Hi,
space."
brother." You know,
Yeah.
it's crazy.
Yeah, and that's when Sir Gerald Royce confronts Damon. And he's like,
Oh
yeah, even Targaryens may be called to answer for their crimes, like alluding that he knows that he killed uh, Lady Rhea.
yeah.
And Damon denies it, of course, and then he demands his inheritance, right, from his wife's like wealth. Yeah,
Baller
he's like,
move.
like everything she had like falls to me now, so all that territory is like mine, right? And the guy's like, oh shit, I work for this guy now, like.
Yeah, he's like, oh shit, I didn't think he was this smart, or whatever. Yeah,
Yeah,
now he's screwed. But now, just going back real quick, when
yeah,
they opened, she was riding down, Lady Rhea was riding down the road. I'm like, it's the veil.
yeah.
Like, I was like, oh shit, it's the veil. Like, I didn't remember who it was. Like, and then until I was like, oh wait, there's Obi-Wan Kenobi. Oh, that's Damon's dress. Right. So
When did Luke Skywalker show up in Westeros? Yeah,
I guess like baby Grogu to be on the back of the horse.
yeah, right.
Uh, but yeah, no, then they start to dance and celebrate, and you know, um the Sir Laenor's consort, Jeffrey Longbottom or something, like, is what's his name? Like
Lawn mouth. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna call him Longbottom.
Oh, that's great. Yeah.
Joffrey Longmouth.
Yeah.
Um, he's like, so Christian, like, looks like we got something in common. We're both like doing the bride and groom. But we know our secret. Let's be friends. And
Yeah.
Christian's like, get out of here. And
Yeah, he's
then
like just staring at Rhaenyra the whole time, like no poker face
yeah,
whatsoever,
yeah,
and that's how
yeah.
they pick up on it. And then yeah, he's like, yeah, let's keep each other secret. And then like Damon is like steps in and starts dancing with Rhaenyra, and they're getting like really intimately close. And you're like, oh shit, Viserys is about to have a stroke. Like he's about to like have an aneurysm right now. And then like
Christian
people start
Cole's about to
screaming.
lose it. Viserys
Yeah.
about to lose it. Damon is like twerking on Rhaenyra. Well,
She's like, why don't you
Westerosi.
just take me as your
Yeah,
wife? That's what you wanted
yeah,
all along. It's like, whoa, you
yeah.
knew that? Like,
No, and that's like, she's like, all right, like, let's see, put the proof in the pudding. Like, just go start murdering everybody and take me away. Let's hop on the dragons and let's go.
yep.
And then, like, I mean, he has problem finishing. So, like, nothing happens, and then we hear the commotion, and, like, bar fight breaks out,
Oh
and
yeah.
then we see Christian Cole just, like, skull crushing, bashing,
It's wailing on the dude's face. Yeah.
Longbottom's, face in.
Yeah.
And, like, no one's like, "No, stop," like, no one
They're all
pulls
like,
him off.
let him work it out, guys.
Yeah.
Let him work it out. Hold on, hold on. It's a man's grudge. Just let him work it out. And they're like, oh shit, he killed a guy. I didn't have anything to do with that.
Sir Laenor wasn't happy, though. But
Yeah.
then, there's people getting thrown around, and I love how, the new hand, Strong, he, like, just, like, does a little head nod to, like, his to Breakbone Strong, the non-club footed one.
Yeah.
It was like, gives a little head nod, and he's like, all right. He just bowls through people and picks up Rhaenyra and, like, gets her out of danger.
It's the
Um,
mountain's grandfather.
yeah,
Or the mountain and the hound. It's their grandfather. He's like, I
yeah,
got
yeah.
this. Yeah.
Oh, that'd be so cool if that was it.
Uh-huh.
Like your great grandfather. Um,
There's gonna be a lot of
yeah.
those kinds of connections because remember the Red Witch Melisandre was born around this time.
Well, that's what I'm when if she shows up, because I don't know anything
Yeah.
about the book, so I don't know if she shows up at all in any of these Fire and Blood. So, um, but we have like then they like rush the wedding, right?
Oh, that was
So
so brutal. Yeah.
blood, like Sir
Yeah.
Laner, so has blood on his like nose, and
Later's like beat to shit, and he's like as soon as the like room clears, he's like crying over like Joffrey, and you're just like, oh, cat's out of the bag now. Like
yeah, yeah.
nobody can deny this. And then yeah, then
Sarah, they're all like, "Oh, we got to marry him real quick
yeah.
before the rumors start to spread." Like,
Yeah. And it's just like six people in the hall, and they're like, I do. And
yeah,
he's got like a bloody nose. He's like, yeah, I do.
yeah. Do you take? I do. I do. All right, we're married. Like, what do they do? Like, logistics, everything. Do they just cancel the rest of the week? Like, is there not going to be any more tournaments, or are we
No
going to
refunds.
time jump 10 years now?
Yeah.
We'll talk about that in a second.
Yep.
But then we go. Christian Cole goes like no one arrests him. They just like, okay, like he's like Rhaenyra's protection, so we're just gonna let him wander off into the Godswood.
I mean,
And
would you arrest Jamie Lannister? I think not.
yeah, he was captured though, a part of Game of Thrones. So
Yeah,
and
but
it's
I
had
think
his
if Jamie
hand chopped
Lannister
off.
killed somebody at court, I think everybody would be like, it's the
Well,
Kingslayer. He's got this.
yeah, he did slay the king.
Yeah. And
So,
still managed to keep his position. Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
So yeah,
yeah.
apparently in the
So,
Kingsguard, you can just kill anybody. I don't, yeah, there's no
well,
consequences there.
you're not supposed to have sex.
Yeah.
You imagine you're not supposed to murder just anybody. Like all they do is like murder and have sex. Like it's like everything they're not supposed to do.
2 for 2.
But
Jamie Lannister's idol. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
So like they have
Jamie
like that.
read books about him.
Yeah, right. Um, yeah. So like after the ceremony, like Viserys collapses.
Yeah.
And like he's like bleeding from the nose, and you're like, oh, this dude is his time is up. Like they just had the wedding, like he's gonna die. But that's when we see like Sir Kristen is like he's like trudging off. He's like, man, this
Yeah.
fucking sucks. He's like, she doesn't love me anymore. I just killed a guy. And he's like trudging off to that red. I don't even know the name of that tree, but it's the same tree from Winterfell that I did not know. I guess was in also in King's Landing.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Well, it's I think the Godswood tree. Yeah, but I thought they were in the north.
Yeah. I mean, it's a pretty significant tree. It has a face in it that bleeds, that cries like blood, like red sap. But I would think that would be more important than just keeping it in the red.
Weirwood trees.
Weirwood. Okay. Yeah. But yeah, you see like Sir Cole is like taking off his armor, and it's all going on at the same time as a ceremony between Rhaenyra and Laenor. He's like taking off his armor, and he's like putting his sword down, and he's like opening up his shirt. He's gonna like stab himself in the chest.
Mm. Yeah.
And then we see Allison is like, Sir Cole. And he's like, what? And then what happens after that? Oh, yeah. So there's a little time difference there, right? Because Allison was there when the king collapsed at the ceremony. The two scenes are happening at the same time, but there's a little time difference there. Jackie pointed that out. It was a good catch. I thought she just left. She was like, I'm not going to that wedding. Like, it's a sham. Rhaenyra's a whore.
Yeah, but she was at the wedding. I thought so too. She was at the wedding. Yeah.
Yep. And so she like spares Kristen's life.
Yeah.
Or tells him to stop anyways, at least according to scenes for next week. But what's the last thing we see is like the king is, they've like drug him back up to his room, and they're like, oh, we've got to put leeches on his arm. And his arm is like all like infected and like scabbed over and shit.
Yeah, the two doctors are fighting over what to give him. Like, he likes leeches for the pain.
Leeches have always healed the king.
Yeah.
And that other one's like, I've got some herbs that I think if we put on, it's like a topical salve. I think if we put on there, it would help.
I got this herb. You smoke it.
Yeah.
And it cures everything.
It makes everything better.
Yeah. The king will be like brand new and shit, right? Like,
guys,
he'll grow an arm back.
It's just a chair.
Bro, like, this is just a chair, man. Why are we all fighting over it?
And it's made of swords, guys. I mean, look at my back. This thing is not safe for anybody. Who wants my job? I don't. Fuck this. Yeah.
Can we get a new chair? Like, and that's how the lazy boy was invented.
Sir Lazy Boy. Yeah.
Sir Lazy Boy of Bravos. He sold it to Littlefinger.
It's like, can I get a cushion to put on the Iron Throne? I think this is horse shit.
Yeah. But he died by chair. Well, so we're gonna go. Any other thoughts? Because I want to talk about the post.
No,
the upcoming. So
yeah, we can jump to that. Yeah,
so spoiler if you haven't seen it or you don't watch the coming up next.
Yeah, the sneak peek for next week. Watch it, people. Every episode, end of episode.
So next week we're gonna get the time jump.
Yep.
So most everybody, if you're watching the show, should know that Millie, the young Rhaenyra and the young Alicent are going to be replaced by older actresses, and the older actresses were cast first, and then they brought the young ones in. So this was planned all along, and it's apparently going to happen in episode 6. Now, in the scenes from next week, we see Viserys is still alive.
Yeah. Oh, and somehow.
Maybe the topical salve plant trees.
I almost did a
Works
one-arm thing,
with
but I'm not gonna do it. That's fucked
it.
up. Yeah, I was just thinking he's probably
What's the
got like
sound of
one
one
arm.
arm clapping?
Yeah.
Sorry.
He's pretty pissed. He can't start a round of applause. Yeah.
Yeah, and he's gonna like I heard it's 10 years, but I'm wondering if it like jumps all 10 years at once
Mm, it's a good
because
question.
like
Yeah.
I mean how there's some wild things that is seen in this, right? So
Yep.
we have Emma D'Arcy and blanking on the actress's name that's going to play the new Allison,
Oh
the
yeah.
older Allison.
Emily Cook or something like that. Yeah.
Olivia Cook, I think,
Olivia
right?
Cook. That's it. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So and they're both really good actresses and but it's weird seeing them because they look like them kind of and then you're like, oh wow, they're older.
Yeah.
And are we just gonna kick off? Yeah, I'm wondering how they're gonna do it. If they're gonna go just start 10 years in the future or be like what happened? I mean, they've just yada 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 past like a bunch of stuff already on the show.
Yeah.
So we've had a 6 month time jump, a 3 year time jump, um, and now we'll get like a 10 year time jump. But I mean, some pretty important shit happened in this episode.
Yeah.
And now, like, does 10 years go by and you have Lenore and Rhaenyra married and they have kids, but they're really Christian Cole's kids?
Yeah, dude. Yeah, because like
or
they're
or at
all
least
like
one of them is,
brunettes.
or at
Yeah.
least the 10-year-old is that says Dracarys and burns somebody to death and the with the dragon.
Yeah, because I think it's Allison talking to the king, to King Viserys. I get.
Yeah,
I don't know if he's still king or not. But he looks like shit. First of all.
yeah,
And she's like, well, one child would be excusable, but all three is flat out disrespect or something like that, right? So it's like, oh, she's got like, and then you see like Sir Cole is still alive, right, in the time jump. So she's like having kids with him. Um, but did you notice that scene where like that the new hand, right, who took over from Hightower is like telling him like I think that it's Sir Cole's kids, and he's like basically warning him. He's like, yeah, spreading rumors like that is not a good idea. And then like the next scene you see, I think he's like in jail. Like
yeah.
I think the king is losing it. Like he puts the dude in jail, and the guy probably just has no idea what he's doing.
Well, I mean that they all kind of go mad, right? I
Yeah.
mean, except for the one before Viserys. I mean,
Yep.
that's a trend of
Yeah.
the Targaryen
Targaryens. Yeah.
rule.
It's 50-50. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, so that it'll be interesting to see. I mean, it looks really good going forward. Um,
And we see Aegon, right? The king's male heir is older and he's got long blonde hair. And it's like that dude is fit to be like the heir. Like he looks crazy and like a Targaryen and probably rides dragons. Yeah. No doubt,
yeah,
like
well,
Damon's like tutoring him. Like, because the king is old.
yeah,
So Damon's like, let your uncle show you how to ride dragons. This is how you do it. Yeah.
but I'm wondering how Damon fits in, right? Because I mean, I
Oh,
still think at some point. Go ahead.
no, yeah. That was the other thing I meant to mention was during that whole scuffle at the Red Wedding prequel. We don't
Maroon
forget,
wedding.
yeah, the maroon wedding. That Lord Corlys has a daughter, right, who was originally offered to the king.
Yeah.
I think we see her get kidnapped during that scuffle. Go back and watch it. I think you see her get picked up and hauled out of the room because in this scenes for next week, she's like with Daemon and they have kids. And they're full on Targaryen kids. Like they got the hair and everything. So I don't know if he like kidnapped her and like
Well,
did
wasn't he
what
flirt? He was flirting with her too.
maybe they ran
In
off
this,
together. Yeah.
that's what I'm wondering because he's flirting with her in this episode,
Yeah.
and she's really into
That's right.
dragons. Remember, because she was asking Viserys when she was 12 all about the dragons.
Yeah.
So I think that's a Damon. They were flirting, and then Damon probably like, "This is my opportunity, and I'm gonna, um,
Do what my
you know,
brother couldn't do. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah." So man, it looks like it's gonna be really good.
Yeah.
So
I can't wait. Cool time jump. There's a lot of stuff that's going to happen. I don't know how they're going to do it, but I hope they do it right. So far, so good.
Yeah, and like I said, we don't read the book, so we don't. If we have, we would know what's gonna happen, but we don't. So
Yeah.
if you're yelling at us like, "Hey, we're not book readers," so
Nope. Not
we're
reading it on purpose. Want to watch the show.
yeah, yeah. So I can't wait.
Yep. Anything else you
Um,
want to add to that?
I just can't believe. So like, just interested to see how Allison makes some real moves at the end of the episode and how that plays out as we jump into the future, right?
Yep.
And how Otto um in them how the high towers maneuver. I mean, everybody like so if as we're speculating, if Damon is with Lena, I think is the former 12-year-old,
Yep.
and then Rhaenyra's with Laner and Christian Cole and and Viserys and Alicent have baby Aegon. Like shit's gonna pop off, and
Yeah.
I think this is a Targaryen civil war. I mean, this is
Yeah.
what this show I think is covering.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we know what happens just from Game of Thrones lore is where they basically stop having like the dragons die off,
Yep.
and then Aegon was killed by um Jamie
Yeah. The Mad
Lannister
King.
or one of
Yeah.
the Aegon, yeah, the
Yeah.
Mad King.
Aegon the
Um,
seventh, whatever. Yeah.
yeah. So and then Baratheon took over, and then we have the fight. But I mean, it's you got the lore of like in the last episode, well, Dagger, the prince who was promised, and
Yeah.
all that, and which all plays out in the Game of Thrones, with Jon Snow, and even though Bran ends up being king,
Yeah.
and Arya kills
Yeah. The
uh
Night King.
the
Yeah.
Night King. I think with that dagger, maybe.
Yeah. I
I
think
can't
it is that
remember,
dagger. Yeah.
but yeah. So, I mean, that's what I like about prequels. The only thing that is a little negative sometimes is where kind of the story ends up or the broad
Yeah.
base of it. So, like,
Yeah.
I mean, the first season you can, I mean, it's 10 episodes. You're still gonna have some Targaryen rule, right? And I mean, they're gonna continue to rule, but it seems like this is a start of them getting less powerful.
Oh yeah, and it totally like if Rainier is having kids with Sir Kristen Cole, then her hold on the right to be queen is their her hereditary dynasty is bullshit, right? Just like
Hmm.
Cersei and Robert Baratheon's kids, because they were all Lannisters. They weren't actually Baratheons. So
Yeah, yeah,
it that kind of muddies the water, and so it's like, oh wait, there's actually Targaryen kids hanging out. Well, there's Aegon the second, and there's Daemon's kids. Like, so yeah, there's a lot of stuff that really I think is going to screw people over. Just bad
yeah,
choices like 10 years ago.
yeah. Cool, man. Anything else before we get out?
Nope, nothing from my side. You ready to kick it?
Yeah, so thanks for joining us today. Um, thanks for kicking it with us.
Yeah, buddy.
As always, you can check us out on any of the podcast networks. Like I usually listen to us on Apple Pods. I think Mike listens to us on Spotify,
Yep.
and lots of people listen to us on Google, and actually our RSS feed as well. I think you can
Yep.
listen to us. So type in "Can We Kick It?" We also are releasing some on our YouTube channel. Can we kick it? Question mark. Um, this episode will be on YouTube. We did episode 37 as well on YouTube, or 36, one of those.
Yep.
So we'll be putting those out. You can check us out on Instagram. I did a poll this week. I didn't look to see who responded, but that was my bad.
I
On our
know I did.
Instagram,
Yeah.
I did too. On our Instagram page, Can We Kick It Pod? Email us at can we kick a pod1@gmail.com and check out our website at kickingitmedia.com.
Peace.